Hello, this is Barbara Dean Franklin. Welcome to my channel.
Is okay? All right, very good.
Oh boy, it's about to start.
Greetings and thank you so much for tuning in to the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I am your host, Barbara Dean Franklin, and today I have the pleasure of sitting with Dr. Missy Johnson, Corporate Transformation Coach. How are you today?
I am wonderful today. Thank you.
Hey, well, it is such a pleasure to finally sit with you, to meet you, to be able to bring to the viewing audience exactly what a transformation coach is and how you get transformed, okay, in the process
All right.
of doing what it is that you do. So, Missy, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and just a little bit about how you got started before we dig deep into what a transformation coach does.
Oh, absolutely. I am a young lady with one child who is an adult.
Okay.
I also have a husband, and we've been married for about 20 years.
All right.
And all my life, I wanted to be something. I didn't know what I wanted to be. So basically, I lived my life how everybody else wanted me to live.
Okay.
Got the husband, got the child, got the job.
All right.
So I did all that. But I still wasn't happy. Something was missing. About 4 years ago, I had an accident. I had a 60 miles an hour head-on collision on 94 freeway. And from that point, I suffered a closed head injury.
Okay.
And I was out of work for about 2 years. And during that time, I asked God why he didn't let me die. And I asked him that because prior to that, we had lost 7 people in our family within 15 months. And during that time, I was living my life 60 seconds to 60 seconds.
Okay.
I didn't know if I was going to make it to the next hour. With a closed head injury, AAA has picked me up off the freeway many a times because I didn't know where I was going. So God started speaking to me about transformation, but I really didn't know what he was talking about because I was just trying to live. I was just in survival mode.
Jesus.
Well, I went back to corporate America, and when I went back to corporate America, that's when I discovered that my calling was bigger than corporate America.
Most definitely, most definitely. So I truly understand that. Worked 36 years for AT&T and retired in 2012. But I remember at some point when God said to me, "These 4 walls can no longer contain you." So
Absolutely.
I definitely know what you mean about transformation. Now, with your close head injury, and I thank God that you recovered, because like you said, see, God had a plan and a purpose for your life, even, in the midst of that accident. Because just answer this for me, had not it been for that accident, do you think you would be the transformation coach that you are today?
I think I would have been the transformation coach, but when that happened, it accelerated the process.
Okay, well, that's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Now, as I read your bio, first off, we got to just talk for 1 minute about Snuggles. So tell us about your poodle.
Yeah, his name was Snuggles, and I brought him back from the West Coast.
Okay.
And he's adorable little toy poodle.
Okay.
And he has split personalities.
Really? Where did he get it from?
Somewhere in my household. It wasn't me.
It wasn't true.
Somewhere in my household.
Okay.
But he has a beautiful spirit.
That is good. I mean, I have a cat. His name is Blue, and Blue is like probably about 10 years old now.
Oh, wow.
And he's a blue Russian, but he is the biggest cat. People look at him and think he's a dog. I looked at him the other day, he kind of looks like a lion. But anyway,
Wow.
You know how we love our pets.
We love our pets.
Because they're like people.
Yes, they
I mean,
are.
they have their own personalities. And if more people
Yes.
could be like pets.
Yes.
This would be a better world.
Oh,
You know, 'cause
absolutely.
they know how to give that unconditional love.
They do.
You
They
know,
do.
and that is what we need more of. You know, so let's talk about as you talk about transformation. I like something that you said in your bio was about you have no fear. You know,
Yes.
so let's go back to you living the expectations of everybody else. You got the husband, you have the child, the white picket fence. You know, you're doing everything that other people wanted you to do, but there's still something that's inside of you that is not being fulfilled.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know a lot of times we're stagnant, you know, because of fear. We want success, but then we're afraid to go after it.
Yes.
You know, so what is that process? What brings you to Dr. Missy Johnson?
Well, what happened, I don't have a fear of going after something.
Okay.
For me, that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Inside my DNA, I don't quit.
Okay.
Inside of my DNA, failure does not exist.
All right.
Inside my DNA. But inside my inner self, I did have fear.
Okay.
I had self-doubt.
All right.
I feel like I need to be validated. If you asked me or told me, Barbara Dean, that you was going to put me on the Oprah magazine,
Okay.
it's good, but it wasn't good enough.
All right.
Because I didn't feel like I was good enough. If you said we're about to take a trip to the moon, I would say you go ahead because I need to go further.
Okay.
So I had an inner fear of always pleasing other people.
All right.
The outside fear I can do, but high achieving myself and getting myself to the outside things that the world thinks is important, the degrees. I have the degrees behind my name.
Right.
I have the misses in front of my name. But on inside, I was totally empty.
Wow. And it's funny, and I know people probably sick of hearing me say this about my suit, you know, but we walk around, I got the suit, nice suit. It look good on the outside.
Yes.
But you turn that suit inside out and it's tore up, the lining is ripped,
my God.
it's faded, you know, it used to be, you know, one color, now it's all red and, you know, just shadows. And I mean, when I tell you it's raggedy,
Yeah.
you know, it's raggedy. So that's how a lot of people, we walk around, we look good. We got the makeup, our hair is done, makeup is flawless, you know, jewelry, you know, accentuate everything that we're wearing, but on the inside.
Oh my God. On the inside.
We are tore up.
I was tore up from the floor up.
Okay.
To the point that people will call me Pretty Patty. Perfect Patty and Pretty Patty. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
Everything has to be perfect. I strive for excellence. Excellence is my middle name.
Okay.
But in my strive for excellence, I wore this shirt, I am a high achieving woman.
Okay.
But it's killing me. I was dying on the inside. Every time I would go through something, I'll hit that pinnacle of what I wanted.
You made it.
I made it. Oh, I can make that grade. But what people didn't know, that I had to struggle. I had the self-doubt, the self-limiting behaviors, the fear. I had all this in a box that nobody knew about.
Wow.
But I didn't look like it because I was Pretty Patty.
Okay. But now, so you're successful in your own right.
Yes.
Because but what you said is that you're addicted to the success. You can make it.
Yes.
What you want, you go after, you get it.
Absolutely.
But then as soon as you get it, you know, it's like, what's next?
What's next?
Okay.
Yes. What's next?
Well, and I had a crack addiction.
Yes.
Okay. So as I'm listening to you, I'm just going to equate, because people think addiction, you know, they only think
Oh my
drugs or
God.
alcohol. But here it is. Because I remember smoking crack, you know, taking that puff,
Yes.
and then waiting for the what's next, you know, that
Yes.
next high. So it sounds like you were doing the same thing.
You know what? I want you to talk about that thing, because sometimes people say, well, don't say that word, but I'm saying that word because I was addicted to success.
Wow.
Addiction means I want it.
Okay.
I wanted it bad.
Okay.
And I got it.
All right.
But guess what? I was looking for the next big thing, and it never came.
Wow. And so even in your success
Yes.
with your addiction,
Yes.
it became a bad thing for you.
It became a bad thing. And think about being addicted to success is this. As a person who's an alcoholic, we could recognize those symptoms. As a person who's been, you know, in drug abuse, we could recognize those symptoms. But when you are addicted to success,
Right.
you can't recognize those symptoms.
Right.
And when you do recognize them, you don't want to tell nobody.
So did you share that? I mean, so I guess my question is, like, now you know. You've
Yes.
recognized
Oh my
that you
God.
were addicted to success.
Yes.
What worked? What did it take for you to get here?
It took thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. People say when you want something, you'll find the money.
Right.
I never believed that.
Okay.
But I discovered that's a myth.
Okay.
When you want something, you will find the money. So I started investing in personal development.
All right.
I started investing in masterminds.
Okay.
And I went to the A-list people.
All right.
And I'm going to go back to the story about, being crack addicted because I started out doing these small programs.
All right.
It wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So I had to go to the big programs. I started going to the A-list people. But the thing that happened with the A-list people, the same thing I was getting at A-list, I was getting when I wasn't really putting in a lot of investment.
All right.
So I'm looking for all my answers in all these A-list people, and I still wasn't getting it.
Okay.
So what happened is that God said, trust me.
All right.
He said, I already have it for you.
Okay.
Just trust me. And I just hit myself. I said, God, I go to church. I thought I knew how to trust you. If I don't know how to trust you, can you just show me?
Okay.
Show me how to trust you.
Wow.
So when I started trusting God, my trust started turning into my transformation.
I know my God, that's a good word right there. Because as you were speaking and you're saying, I'm going to the A-list people and I'm going here and I'm thinking it's already inside of you. It's already, because if you were doing these little groups, if you were already, you're the transformation person. God has already spoke to you, after your closed head injury. So he's already put in you everything that you need. We've got to believe.
Yes.
See, and that's one thing about trusting God. We cannot trust God, say we trust God, then act contrary to what we say we believe, So I'm thanking God, again, because as women, we wear so many hats,
God.
The wife, the mother, the confidant, you got your sister friends, you're there, you're everything for everybody.
Yes.
Who's there for Missy?
Nobody. Nobody was there. And you know what? And that's so good because I know how to give.
Right.
I am the major cheerleader for somebody else. But when it comes to cheering on myself, you couldn't get no raw out of me.
I'm about to lead a chair, because you're speaking to me right now. You my mirror, because that's the exact way that I feel is I can believe you into your success.
Yes.
But when it comes to me, sometimes I don't believe all that, people like you're good, you're this, you're that.
Yes.
But if I don't believe it, then it does no good. You know? So the same thing that's my strength could be my very weakness.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That is so true. And when I started trusting him, and that was after my accident. And what happened, God, he brought me out of a 60 miles per hour accident.
Okay.
What happened after that is that my father died.
All right.
What happened after that, 45 days after that, I was at home and I fell 12 feet from the roof. In my attic, the floor collapsed on me, and I hit the concrete, and I was broken from my shoulder all the way down to my ankle.
Really?
And I was in St. Joe's Hospital. And during that time, that's when God started saying, you know what? You have a takeover spirit.
All right.
But you're not going to take over. It's time for me, for you to make up your mind
Submit
who you're going to serve. And I just told God, I said, you know what? I just threw up my hands. And I literally threw up my hands because I said, you know what? I'm done.
I know that's right.
I'm done. However you want me to do, whatever you want me to be, wherever you want me to go, I'm going to go.
I know that's right. So, Dr. Missy Johnson, corporate transformation coach, transforming high-achieving women into empowered entrepreneurs and showing them how to live life on their own terms.
Yes.
If some woman is out here and they're watching you, how do they get in touch with you?
They will contact me through my website, which is www.askdrmissy.com.
Okay.
They can contact me there, or they can call me at 313-598-6621.
Okay. Now, this is just, quick, because I know that, every session is probably different. But take me through a session, that you would, a typical session that you would have. If somebody called you, they contact you, what is it that you're doing, that you, like, what does that intake process look like, I guess?
Yes. Well, it's an identity process first.
All right.
Because when people come to me, there's no judgment. I'm not judging you.
Okay.
Validation, we're not even going through that.
All right.
I just need to know who you are.
All right.
So there's a series of questions. There's a survey that we take. And it basically talk about what are your fears. Sometimes we don't even know what our fears
Most
are.
definitely.
Then we look at the childhood, because a lot of times things we take from our childhood, we bring into our present.
Exactly.
So we look at that. So after we put all those together, then I ask them, what do you want to look like in the future? And then we work backwards. It's called reverse engineering.
Okay. And that's a good thing. And yesterday, I was at an event, that I was speaking at, and I was speaking about domestic violence. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I've been trying to support that all this month. And I talked to the women about taking their power back and owning that. When you talk about childhood, kids emulate what they see you do, no matter what you tell them to do. And in order for you to break the cycle of whatever's going on, because once you're transformed, then you have your power. They see you successful. They see you happy. They see you whole. They become happy, healthy, and whole children. They raise happy, healthy, and whole children. Because we know hurt people. Angry people raise angry people. So it is time that as women. But let me just, because you're talking about empowered entrepreneurs, achieving women, high achieving women. So is your business strictly for women?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It is not. Okay. And really, it's quiet as kept. I have more men to contact me than women. And I believe the reason is because they're ready to move forward without all the other stuff. As mothers and as women, we have so many responsibilities that sometimes we just can't make time to take care of us. And men sometimes they want to move quicker because maybe they're a father of children, or maybe they want to do something different in their lives. But it's not strictly for women. Men are included. You never exclude the men because they're our seed.
Most definitely, and that's what I shared yesterday. That as women, because I had Shayro Johnson on here, who I loved, and she is the CEO of COTS, and she was like, if you wanted to change the world, change the mindset of a woman. You understand? But as men, it doesn't exclude the men, because we need them to partner with us, to cover us, to be our cheerleading section, to be our shoulder. We need a strong man. We need strong men who support us, 100%, so we can give back to them exactly everything that they need, So always, I just wanted to make sure, as I look at this, I see the achieving women, but COTS is moving to a family structure, so when you think of that, you think, well, it's just going to be women and children, but it includes the men and children as well, because there are single fathers who are out there that are raising their children. So I just wanted to make that clear in case there's some young man, old man, or any guy that's looking at this who wants to call you, to contact you, to see what transformation really looks like. This is how partnerships and relationships are built, collaboration. So I'm really excited about sitting here with you, about you coming on and sharing with me your story. What I do want you to do for me right now, Missy, it's because there's some young girl, some woman out there who is a high achieving woman, and they don't know how to move forward. Their story may be like yours, and it could be somewhat different, but they don't know how to take that step. So I want you to just share from your heart, for a few minutes, look into that camera, and just share with somebody from your heart how to move forward.
Young man, young woman, high achieving woman. You could be a high-achieving mother. You could be a high-achieving daughter. You could be a high-achieving father. There's no rule to say what a high-achieving person is. But what I would encourage you to do is to remove any distraction that's blocking you from your blessing. Remove any distraction that's blocking you from taking you to the next step. The distractions have to be removed. Your mindset has to be clear. You have to pray and ask God to lead you. Because for me, I thought I could do it all by myself. Because I'm a takeover person. I know how to take a situation and I know how to make it work. But God had to step in for me. It may not be for you, but for me, he had to step in. So I would encourage you to go to God. Go to someone who is accountable for you. If you need accountability, call Dr. Missy at 313-598-6621. I am here to be your accountable partner. I am here to help you become a high achieving person in whatever your endeavors are. And remember, I love you, and no validation is required here.
All right, all right. And see, that's what I'm talking about, is that if we just share love and be there for one another, it makes our strength, it gives us courage to go on, because that's what people want, is to know that they're loved, that somebody can, just take my hand and help me get to where I need to be.
And that's what I needed. I needed somebody.
Okay.
Sometimes you ain't even got to say nothing.
Right.
But just hold my hand.
Okay.
Just tell me you love me.
I know that's right.
That's all I need.
Oh my God, I know
that's all
right.
I need.
That's what, I just vision. And it starts with the woman, because we're nurturers. We love people, and we know how to get there. But because we are so fearful, like you said, fear sabotaged you. It held you back. We always think about the lack, of just everything in our lives. For me, I didn't meet my dad till I was 38 years old. So sexually abused as a kid, as a young woman, looking for love in all the wrong places. We go through that until we know who we are, until we really, and the key is, I want you to hold my hand, and I want you to love on me. But if I don't love me,
then you say
can't,
that,
okay, if I don't love me, you can't love me enough.
And sometimes I don't even know what love looks like.
Exactly.
Because I never had it.
Exactly.
And if I had it, because no one ever told me that I meant something to them.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about in love, we go into the bedroom. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm just talking about just loving on me. Who I am. Who I am and where I am
right
today.
Now. Exactly.
Yes.
Just love me where I am.
Yes.
And so, we've got to give that to our young women that are out here today. They need to look at us and say, here are two women who can love and help each other.
That's right.
No backstabbing, who are working together for a common good.
Yes.
To raise the level of standard of living, of loving, of friendship, of sisterhood. We got to show them how to be. Because if they see us, running each other down, how are we going to?
Especially sisters of color.
Okay, most definitely.
Especially sisters of color.
Most definitely. So when we talk about fear and sabotage, how did you get over your fear?
I got over my fear because I started doing the work.
Okay.
You have to do the work. Just because you love me, that's the starting point.
Right.
But it's a process. You have to do the work. You have to do personal development. You have to start investing in yourself.
Right.
A lot of times when you go to places, they say, well, this costs this costs that. Don't think that you're paying me.
Right.
You're not paying me.
Exactly.
You can't pay me.
Okay.
But you can invest in yourself to get the things out that you already had in you.
Right.
Because sometimes I didn't recognize what I had.
Exactly.
I didn't realize that I was a gift. And even when somebody told me after I paid them, I still didn't recognize I was a gift.
Right.
But until I started doing the work.
Exactly.
That's when I started realizing I was a gift.
Well, I this morning I was talking. I had read your bio, and then when it talk about you were free from fear, you were free from fear, and people say to me, you're always up here, but that's because I recognize who I am today.
Yes, that's
you understand?
correct.
I love Barbara Dean Franklin.
Yes.
I refuse to allow anybody to step on the hard work that it took to become Barbara Dean Franklin.
Yes.
I don't think I'm better than.
No.
I don't think I'm highly educated.
No.
I surround myself with smart people. You understand? My circle is growing each and every day. And a preacher was at the church the other day, and he gave a demonstration that was so awesome because how I feel is like I'm a helium balloon.
Yes.
But that's only because God has blown his breath into me.
That's right.
So I'm up here.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Now, if you're down here because you're using your own breath, it doesn't make me better or less than you.
Absolutely
but
not.
What I'm trying to do is to come down here and help you get here. I never look down on anybody, but I want everybody to feel this good feeling that I wake up with each and every day because I absolutely love Barbara Dean Franklin, all 200 and whatever pounds that it is. You understand? With all of my flaws, I had to work at accepting who I am.
Yes.
And what I bring to a person, if I have nothing else, the one thing that I get that I'm good at, and I don't know if there's anybody in this world that is better at than me, is loving you.
Yes.
You understand? I
Yes.
know how to love people.
Yes.
I know how to give
That's
to
your
people.
gift.
That is my gift.
Yes.
And I reckon, and when you know
Yes.
that you know that you know that you know
Oh, yes.
what your calling is, you do it well. So I'm going to do what I do well. And I want you to do what it is that you do well. And we may not do the same thing.
We're not going to do the same thing. And Barbara, I want to tell you this. When you talk about being free and people, one of my freedom triggers is that I discovered I couldn't help everybody. When I released that to discover I couldn't help everybody because I'm the person, I'm going to save the world. That's Dr. Missy. She don't save the world. But guess what? Some people don't want to be helped. And you can't save everybody. But guess what?
Definitely.
There's a group of people that's just for you.
All right.
There's a group of people that's just for me.
All right.
And it has our name on it.
I know
and they're
that's
waiting
right.
for us. The world's waiting on you with your story. The world's waiting for me with my story. They might not relate to me, but they might relate to you. They might relate to you, but they might not relate to me.
Exactly.
But just because we're going different paths, we are parallel. We are sisters.
Oh, yes, most definitely. And that's where my 501c3, Women Empowered, Crossing Paths. Because when you cross paths, you tell your story, I tell my story, and there's a network of people waiting to hear our story.
Yes.
You know, so we have work to do, my sister.
Oh, we have work to do.
We have work
and the
to
world is
do.
waiting on you, Barbara Dean.
Thank you.
The world is waiting on you.
Thank
It's been waiting for you a very long time. But whatever you went through, from everything you went through, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, it was all for this time.
Okay.
It was all for this moment.
I
It's your
believe-
time.
I believe.
It's your
I
turn.
believe it.
It's my time.
Exactly.
It's my turn. And a television person, it's your time and it's your turn. But you have to do the work. If you don't do no work, the reason why I got all them A's,
Okay.
because I did the work.
All right.
So I can get some good results. You don't do the work, no results.
All right. And it is so true. A half an hour is never enough time, especially when you're sitting with a high achieving woman. But I
Yes.
want to thank you
Thank you so much for having
for
me.
coming out here, taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you just got back in from
New York, Manhattan, New York.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how was that?
It was wonderful.
Okay.
It was wonderful.
That's good. I look forward to sitting with you again, to doing
Yes.
something, and I'm going to be transformed.
But that's a part of the process.
Okay.
You have to take time out for you.
Exactly. I will be in a transformation.
Yes.
And coming back strong, coming back with some new things, new ideas.
Yes.
And if anybody is out there, you know, I have a new website, www.barbaradeanshow.com. Go out. You know, sign up for the website. Thinking about a show, Dr. Missy? Ask Dr. Missy.
I have one coming up.
Okay, all right.
I have
then.
one coming up.
Well, I'm going to have to end the show the way I always do, telling you thank you for tuning in and telling you from my beating heart to your beating heart, I love you.
Yes.
You understand? Okay.